Okay, so for those of you guys who are here, thank you guys for coming this morning. It's PSA Sunday. We're kind of good and on time today. And just wanted to come and just share with you guys just some things. Public service announcement for today is my Bright Idea Boot Camp. So for those of you guys who are coming, you want to go ahead and get yourself registered. You still have some time, bit.ly/, my bright idea. All right, so that is the boot camp link. You can go and check it out. But the benefits of my bright idea boot camp is it's an opportunity for you to actually get some focused time for yourself, and where you can focus in on things that are needed for you in order for you to kind of execute what you've been working on. Some of us have, we have lots of different ideas that we are thinking about, but at the same time, we haven't actually executed them because there's so many layers. There's so many layers of how to get started. There's so much confusion as well and noise about what you should do and how you should get it done. And, I've looked at all of that stuff and seen it and heard it too. And it will have you stagnated. It will have you stagnant, and you will sit there and you will sit and kind of trying to contemplate what's the next step and what you should do. Then you start going into yourself and saying, well, I don't know how to do that, or I don't have the resources to get that done by someone else. So then what you do is you just say, well, I'll wait till I get it. And dang well, that's not what we want to do. We don't want to wait till we get it, because if that was the case, we would have already had it. And if you haven't gotten it so far, then it's like it may not be coming. So what you want to be doing is going out there to get it. How can you go out there and get it and initiate it? And sometimes we got to start just like a little bit at a time. And that's something that we all need and need support on starting just a little bit. How to start just a little bit, that first step, as they say. What is those small steps? What are the small steps that we need to do and we need to take? So with my Bright Idea Bootcamp, that is what we're going to be looking at and we're going to work on. We're going to look at what are those things that, you want to take your platform to this level, or you want to execute a particular something, a class, a booklet, a magazine, something to that degree. You want to be able to do it. And then this is where you're going to be able to actually get some support where someone's right there with you, not letting you lack up or letting you like, okay, well, let me just skirt that off under the table. I have folks who kind of come in and say, hey, let's go ahead and get this done. Then we run into some problems. Then it's like, okay, well, we need to do something else until I can find another alternative. So that's what it is. But it's like you got to kind of move forward with things. And we all will have so much. And that is the one thing. We have a lot of things and we're trying to juggle everything all at once. And if that's not in your wheelhouse to do, then don't do that. Don't try to move forward and do these things that are not in your wheelhouse to do. Or that's not the capacity of where you work in. You don't work in that realm, don't be hanging out over there. Stay out of that hallway, because that's not your hallway. That's not even your door. So what we're going to be doing is looking at how to take your idea from good to great. And let me just kind of go to it. If you go to My Bright Idea Bootcamp or My Bright Idea, you will be able to see some of the things that we're talking about right here. And actually, I think I'm going to change this whole top picture. But that's okay. We're going to keep on moving and turn it into this. So one of the things that I just talked about is before you attend another masterclass promising that you'll make six figures if you follow their secret sauce for their 16-week masterclass. Let's talk about that first. Because if you find yourself wanting to enroll in another 16-week masterclass, but you don't have the system in place to generate income, as a matter of fact, you may not even be clear on the product development, or the service to make an offer to a potential customer. Now, if that's you and you're thinking about that, then that's just like all of us. We're kind of like, okay, well, what are we going to sell? What are we going to put out there? What is it that people need or people want? So let's take this a little bit deeper. Let's go a little bit deeper. Does your product or service trigger an emotional tug that draws the customer to want to know more about your service or your product, and if it will meet their needs? Those are some things that we have to ask ourselves too. Who else need what you have? Who need it? Who's still sitting in that same, hallway, wondering which door they need to go through? Do you see yourself doing that, where you're in the hallway and these doors, and you're like, all these doors, and then you want to be able to like figure out, okay, which door should you go through? That's what we're going to be doing in Bright Idea Bootcamp. Now, Bright Idea Bootcamp is going to be at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. And even though it says in 4 hours, but that's not 4 hours. So it's going to be 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be doing this. And, of course, it's 8 Eastern Standard and 7 Central Standard. Those are things that we're going to be doing. Now, when you look at my Bright Idea coaching, the platform is that this is where our partnership will produce results you've been looking for. And that's what our goal is to do, is to produce those results that you've been looking for. If you've been looking for some results, you want some results, you've been sitting and thinking and wondering and trying to get it done, this is opportunity to do it. We're going to help you. I'm going to help you, and we're going to make sure you get it done. Now, I kind of remember back in 2015, and most of you guys know, back in 2015, I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer. But at the same time, before that, I was really getting geared up and focusing in on the business and identifying, the key factors, like what is it about? What am I offering? Who is my customer? Where am I going? Where is this whole platform for people to be able to connect? And it was for Humanities with the t-shirt line. Now, again, as the co-founder of that platform and of that brand, it is, about how do we restore humanity through fashion and using fashion as that platform to do it. So I remember back in 2015, after getting going, but it was right after my diagnosis. And I was like, well, dang, here's a roadblock that is an ultimate roadblock that could potentially just, end some things. And so during that time, I was like, well, you know what? Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. So I was like, I'm going to do this. Cancer is not about to come in and deal with and take anything that I'm trying to do. So I continue to move forward. So I was getting ready to go all in with moving my business forward. I had a full-time job. I was not able to put a lot of time into building the business though. That's like that all in. I was not all in. So I looked at my finances. I decided that, it was time to try a business coach and get someone who can just help me. So at that time, to help with directing my bright ideas into business strategies that will, have a big outcome. And so, of course, we know we got to put some input. But then at the same time, I was like, okay, I'm about to go through this life transition, and it's like, what do I do and how do I? So you see, having a business coach and a mentor is a great way so that you can be held accountable for your outcomes you set forth in the first place. Now, before you go run out, with that, I definitely want to make sure that, I was still stuck, because even when I did that, I didn't have the systems in place. So my customers would see my amazing ideas or these great t-shirts that I was doing, or starting their own t-shirt business and teaching them the techniques of creating and launching. I was like a treasure chest filled with diamonds and rubies, but had no system in place it's like a deadbolt. It's a deadbolt on it. You can't even release it. So my clients didn't know how amazing I was, or how wonderful my t-shirts were, or how soft, or how the great quality was. You hire a coach to help you remove those feelings of overwhelm and help you establish a system to unlock the opportunities. Everyone has an experience that feeling of being like left out, so that whole fear of missing out on something. But the thing is that will make you, always chasing something. So when you get ready to launch, or you ready to get in there and get things started, this is going to be an opportunity, and you're going to release that disappointment that you've had kind of time after time. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to get started with that. So my Bright Idea Boot Camp, it is today. It's a 1-day class. Hey, Coach Dave. It is a 1-day session today, but we do have a 6-week session that you can check out and you can connect with and get on in there and take this on the long run. But we do recommend you start with one. And as it said, it only takes one. It only takes one. So that is our PSA for today. Thank you, Coach Dave, for coming in, of course. And, we're going to get back over here. Oh, dang, the camera froze. Coach Dave, that's HAPS for you. It's doing its thing. So I'm going to get going. Thank you for coming in. Coach Dave, of course, is here. If you guys want to go and catch out what Coach Dave is doing, you can go to bit.ly/go look at my links. And that is where you can connect with Coach Dave. You also can, again, register for My Bright Idea. It is today. It is at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Now, if any of those things that we talked about interest you, or you need some support, definitely. So, thank you, Coach Dave, for the heart. That is what we're doing. Excuse me, let me get one of these little mouth thingies. But that is what we're going to be doing today, and finishing up some products and projects. So thank you, guys.